Good evening. This is Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. I'm on here just a few minutes early to be sure that I am pretty straight and that everything's working correctly. And I do look like I'm pretty straight today. I was straight yesterday too. Maybe I'm finally, after all these years, getting used to it. This is the last day of my 12 days of Christmas cards, and I've certainly enjoyed making all these cards for you and for myself to send out. I already have quite a stack of cards ready to go, and I still have another stack to do. I love sending out Christmas cards. It's just so much fun. Plus, this year, I've just had so much fun with the different stamp sets, the gingerbread, the homemade treats, the Christmas traditions and traditional Christmas paper and the stamp sets. It's been a lot of fun. Okay, looks like we got about another minute before it's actually 7 o'clock. I'm using this paper because I think it goes perfectly with the gingerbread people, and it's last year's Sentimental Christmas. And it's the backs, you might remember better with this, with the deer, which is very cute too. But having this that looks kind of like gingerbread with snowflakes on it, I think just sets off the gingerbread man. So that's why I used it. Plus I'm trying to finish up some of my extra Christmas paper because next year I know they will come out with more pretty paper that I'll want to buy, and my stacks just keep getting higher and higher. All right, I think it's about time we could start. So this is using the whole die for the gingerbread person, which makes this note card. And so this is just a card front, and if you want to, you could add a white piece on the back too, if you wanted to add more greetings than just the little bit that you get to write inside here. But for me, I'm just going to use it like this. So I've already cut out the gingerbread people. I've already stamped and embossed the greeting. And we have a hat. We have an envelope strip here. And we should have the tie because I purposely cut out the tie and put it together early so that I wouldn't lose the little knot that goes on there. Now I've lost the whole thing. Oh, here it is, because it's laying right on the hat and I didn't see it. Oh, that's good, because I didn't want to have to make that again. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp our gingerbread person. And I'm going to ink it with the stamp side up because it's just easier when you have a large stamp like this to be sure that you get it fully covered. And I'm inking it with Versamark, and then I'm going to have to stand up because this one's so big to get it even. Because when I'm just making one gingerbread person, I can kind of cut it if I get off, but you can't really cut it when you have it on both of them. So let me see. Here we go. I think we're going to be pretty close. Oh, yep, we are. Very good. So now we're going to put on our Whisper White. We're going to get our embossing tray here. We're going to put some white, Wow White, on the paper. And you could be as generous as you like because whatever you don't use, you're going to pour back in the bottle. It takes a long time, really, to use a bottle of embossing powder. And it's very convenient to have the tray so that you could just keep it all in one spot. I see a little spot up here I might have missed. Okay, then you could just take this. I didn't put the lid on here, I should, but it's off. Then I'm just gonna gently brush all the leftover powder back into the jar. And so when you get this tray, you get the tray, the brush, and then I'll show you a set of tweezers. I'll show you those in just a second here. Everything you need to emboss. Oh, I don't know how I got all this back here. That's weird. Okay, so I lost a little bit of the embossing powder this time, but that's okay. Put the lid back on here straight. Now I'm gonna go heat this up. If you're here and you put a hello in the comments, that would be great. Okay, here we go. All embossed. Now I'm going to fold it in half along the score line here. I'm going to use my bone folder, which is laying here. I also have my scissors and my parent tape. Everything is laying here. And I'm going to get this evened up. And there we have the front, what's going to be the front of our card. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm going to Stella him so that it looks maybe like you just sprinkled some sugar on him, or, well, I guess it would be sugar. Sometimes now they have edible glitter that you can sprinkle on cookies. We had some of that for our gingerbread houses that we made this year. They certainly were shiny gingerbread houses on the kids that used it. My granddaughter Hadley used a lot of it. So her gingerbread house is very sparkly. So we'll just kind of let that dry a little bit. Meanwhile, we'll start working on the rest of the card. We're going to take this piece and we're going to add some adhesive. We're just going to center this left to right and up and down. I need to pick it up sometimes to be able to see the whole piece. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to open this up and we're going to stamp inside this saying that says, Baking Spirits Bright. And it's going to fit right across his arms there. This is a pretty fast card besides the embossing part. That takes a few minutes. But other than that, it's a pretty fast card. So we got that on there, and it's centered. So we're going to close this, and then we're going to add some adhesive to the back. We're going to lay this on there and get it centered the best that we can. I think it needs to come this way just a little. We're just sure that we smooth it out. Then we have a hat to put on. I made this one be the green because I'm using up my velvet. Now we got glue down on his eyes. Luckily, it will dry clear. And then we have his little bow tie here. A ribbon. I guess it's not really a bow tie. It's a bow. On some of the other ones I made, I just did the one part without these, and then it was a bow tie. Now we need some embellishments. I didn't put a ribbon on this because I couldn't just decide where to put a ribbon. I could have tied a bow and put a ribbon on them. But I decided, oh, I'll have all this velvet that I want to be sure and use up. So that's why I used the velvet. We're going to use our Pick-a tool. And we're going to put a little peppermint on his hat up here. And then we're going to add 3 more. We're going to add 1 small, 1 medium, 1 large. And this, the next thing we could do is pop this up with dimensionals. And I embossed this with gold because I thought it kind of went with the pecan pie. And don't mind me, I used a piece of paper that I didn't realize was stamped on the back. I just thought it was a scrap of white. So I grabbed it. Although nobody will probably ever see that. And all we have left is the envelope, which I laid up here. Here it is. See, once you have the pieces cut out for this one, it doesn't take long to put it together. Because it doesn't really have that many pieces, but it makes a cute card. my paper scissors. There we go. Now we have an envelope and a card. And like I said, if you wanted to write more of a message, you can always add another piece on the back here. And then I have some little pieces left over that you could put them on the bottom of the inside of the card. Or it's not really the inside, but I don't really know. I thought I had them just laying right here, but I don't. So, but they're just strips like this that would make the perfect for the inside of the card if you wanted to do an inside on the back. Thank you for joining me, or thank you for watching the replay, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Bye.